Hey everyone, this is my YouTube reflection. Uh, so first thing, summarize my own experiences at a college or job. So I've had a few experiences. Mainly, the main one was, I guess, being a leader of my Inspirefly group. Um, I guess in that group, I kind of was leading a team with a bunch of my members. Creating just knowing more about space, and then eventually the same goal of putting pictures in space. As well as my YouTube, I guess my Hume Center research, we were kind of working on YAML code, just working with that, and as well as kind of making a sub network, a subnet, and I think working together with those team members has made me stronger as a person. Now, I don't really think it matters if it's a small or large group, and part of the reason is because I think the people in the group matter, the members. And I think the reason for that is because the members in the group, they kind of set the foundation, and those personalities, it doesn't matter how small the large the group is. If the personalities don't match, then the group will be successful. And that leads me to say about the personalities and the traits. Um, the personalities I think work well are, I guess, listening ability, empathy, and punctuality. I think if you're a good listener, you're empathetic, you're nice, and you're respectful to all your team members, and you show up on your time, you're responsible. I think those traits and personalities really work well with the team. And I think everyone is going to like the team members and our leader. And I really think that leadership will be needed, but it should be to the point where it's unselfish. No one cares who the leader is, they just want the team to do well. That's what you need. Now, my table with 6 seats consists of my dad and my mom, my brother, my uncle, and my two best friends, Merle and Arya. The reason why these six people are in my 6 seats is because my dad and mom, obviously being my parents, they've been the role models of my life, and they made me the person who I am today. So obviously they have to be there 100%. My brother, with the typical life, he's been my biggest supporter, and he's been such a nice kid, and I hope he has a great future. And I'm thankful to have him in my life, so I feel like he has to be there. My uncle is a big reason why I still play tennis and why I found new hobbies and passions in tennis and sports. And definitely he has to be there because I like when during traumas, he's been really someone who's picked me up. Now my two best friends, Merlin and Arya, they inspired that competitive nature with me. They always push me to do better. They always push me to succeed, and I feel like I wouldn't have gone to Virginia Tech or like any really good school if that wasn't the case. So though that's why they kind of are in my table. Now, as far as if there's something that seems lopsided, there's more males, which makes sense. I mean, I'm a guy, obviously I probably have more male role models, than females. I think males understand each other better. Same way, if I was a female, then I'd probably have more female role models. But in this case, I think that's kind of really what I focused on. Now, as far as the difficult conversations with me later, it was quite interesting because I actually dealt with something like this a few days ago, and it was with one of my close friends, and we had an argument about a team. So I think doing this activity really showed me the different ways I could have handled the situation. And I think looking back, I think looking at the scenarios and the possible ways I could have handled the scenarios, I really do think that doing this activity really showed me the mistakes I made, the mistakes he made, and most importantly, the effects that we had on our entire team. And I think having that difficult conversation simulator, it really showed me how I could have handled the situation better. Now, active citizen continuum reflection. So, first thing, in a community, so I think one of the things was in my community, right? Um, so I think with the community, you're gonna have I think how can I spark interest with the community and looking at the table and what it really provides. Um, I think in my current community, I think part of the reason I can gauge level interest is mainly due to the fact that there's a lot of people who need an incentive and need a spark interest to make sure they can perform their own task. And a lot of that reasoning is because if people, like a lot of people in this world have ego. And with that ego comes selfishness. And if you see some person not doing something they're supposed to be doing, that also uh, like it gives you the argument saying if they're not doing what they're doing, then I can't do what I'm doing. So I think in my community, just being an upstander, setting an example for other people, and just overall just being a good person. And I know what classifies as good is always a question. I think what classifies as a good person is really a judgment call. You know, you have to make those judgment calls, and that's really what separates you from other human beings. And I think that that incentive will give other people the chance to also follow in your footsteps. Now, as far as community mapping, the main communities I've been around were my neighborhood when I was a kid, and also this apartment complex. I gotta say, I think the community where I was a kid really stood out to me because I think everyone pushed each other to do better. Everyone was more vocal. Everyone was more open, and I think everyone was in the same spot where they wanted to make new friends. And I think compare that to here, it's a little different, but still, I think this community impacted me because I think when I was a kid, if I didn't have those people around me to push me to become more competitive, my interests would have changed, my hobbies would have changed, and overall my competitive spirit would have changed. So I think having that fighting spirit to always work hard, that motivation, it really gave me an ability to like think better, and I think that that gave my parents more confidence that I was going to be successful in the future. And I'm really happy with how my life has turned out. So thank you, everyone.